In this video, we are going to focus on some common coats and patterns of cats. So the tiger is the most common tabby pattern, which features some stripes, and it looks like this. The swirled pattern is also referred to as classic tabby, and this is where the cat has some swirling shapes in its striped, and it gives it almost a marbled appearance. The mackerel pattern is a lot like the tiger, but the stripes are a little bit skinnier. There's also something called a spotted tabby, where instead of stripes, they have spots. Pattern that lacks stripes is also referred to as ticked, and we see this in a couple other breeds. It's almost similar to a brindle, but it's due to a special gene called the agouti gene. We'll talk about that, or a gouty gene. Patch tabby is where we have part of a tabby stripe pattern, but then we also have some white, and you may also see patched patterns with tortoiseshells or calicos as well. So this is a patch tabby where you have some white and some tabby pattern. So the ticked, banded, or agouti hair is a hair type where there are light and dark bands, giving a speckled, like salt and pepper appearance. So the actual hair looks like this. And certain breeds have this agouti type hair. One of them is the Abyssinian, which is a short-haired cat. Another one is the Somali, which is a longer, fluffy cat. They both have what we call ticked or agouti hair, and it is due to the agouti gene, which controls the distribution of the pigment along the hair. Abyssinians are known for their sleek coats with vibrant colors, and Somalis are known for their long-haired coats, and they often are described as fox-like because they have very bushy tails as well. So next we're going to talk about the difference between the tortoiseshell and the calico. The torties have a mottled coat of black and orange, so it's two colors and sometimes cream. They don't have white. So the torties look like this, and then the calicos are tricolor, white, black, and orange with some patches. So both of these can come in the dilute versions where you have the same colors but more like a pastel version. So you have the dilute tortie, and then you may have seen dilute calicos as well. The main difference between the torties and the calico is that the torties have two colors, whereas the calicos have three, including the white. The dilutes have the softer, more pastel tones than the original tortie and calico. Next, we have bicolor cats. This is any cat that has white and another color like white and black, white and gray, or white and orange. The tuxedo is a bicolor cat with black fur and white markings where it looks like a suit. The cap and saddle is a pattern where they have a dark cap on the head and a saddle. And again, you may see this with gray or orange as well. The patch on the back usually connects to the tail, and then they have the cap and saddle. Next, you have the harlequin, which is a mostly white cat with color that's kind of irregular, but it usually winds up on the tail and the head as well, but it's not quite a cap. The van is a predominantly white cat, and they usually only have color on the head and tail. So the difference is with the harlequin, you have some patches on the body. With the van, you only have on the head and the tail, and you commonly see eyebrow-like markings on the van. The mask and mantle is almost like the cap and saddle, except that the mask on the face is connected to the mantle, and it has a way bigger area of color, and the patch extends across the back on the mantle. So again, a bicolor cat is any cat that has white and another color. So some cats like the Siamese have points, and the points can be in different colors like brown, flame, orange, blue, lilac, seal, lynx, or chocolate. The points refer to the cat's color restricted to certain areas. So it's going to be on the cat's muzzle, the ears, the paws, and the tail. So those are points. Flame points are orange colored points where you may see that we have orange colors on those areas. They may be dark brown points. This is common with the Siamese, and then we refer to these as seal. Some of them are referred to as lynx points because they have stripes. So when you see like the striped tabby markings almost on the face, feet, tail, and ears, that's a lynx point. And then the pale gray is a lilac point. For cats that are not purebred, we usually distinguish them by their hair. So domestic short hairs have really short coats and they shed less. Domestic medium hair is somewhere in between the long hair and the short hair. And then the domestic long hairs have a much longer hair. And obviously, the short-haired cats need less grooming than the longer-haired cats. And then there's also some curly-haired cats. So the Selkirk Rex is known for its soft, plush, curly coat. This is a certain breed of cat. And then there's also another cat with a very curly, longer coat that's called the La Perm cat. These are both purebred cats, and the La Perm has kind of tight ringlets to soft waves. And I do admit this is not the best picture of a La Perm. And these curly coats are caused by genetic mutations in the structure as seen in these two breeds. And just an interesting fact about the Selkirk Rex, it originated in Montana in USA in 1987 from one single cat that was born with a curly coat.